here we are going to start up the types of the goodwill and as well as methods to calculate the goodwill. So as already in the previous class we have discussed about that is what is goodwill and what are its features and its nature. We have discussed the theoretical concept here. Now here we are going to discuss about what are the classification of the goodwill. So generally the goodwill can be of the two types. One is the purchased goodwill and another one is the self-generated goodwill. So let's understand what is basically this purchased goodwill mean. So if we will talk about the purchased goodwill, basically it means that is a goodwill which is being purchased or bought by the company. Let's understand it through an example. Let us take an example of the two companies. One is an ABC company and another one is an XYZ Limited company. So this XYZ Limited company wants to purchase the business of the ABC Limited company. Okay, XYZ Limited company wants to purchase the business of the ABC Limited company. And let us assume this thing that the price which the XYZ Limited needs to pay to the ABC Limited is 30 lakhs. Okay, but ironically, the net value of the assets of the ABC Limited is how much? That it's only 10 lakh. Its net assets value of ABC company is how much? That is actually it's only 10 lakh. So the question arises, then this extra 20 lakhs needs to be paid for what? So this extra 20 lakhs which ABC Limited company will be charging from XYZ Limited is what is its goodwill. Am I right? So children, the XYZ Limited will be paying extra 20 lakhs to ABC company just because this ABC company maybe it's a reputed company already, maybe it's having its name and fame there in the market. So therefore when a firm is acquiring the another firm's name and fame all together with its value of the net assets, so therefore the value is called as what? That's the purchased goodwill. Hence the purchased goodwill is equals to purchase price minus net assets value. Okay, so therefore 30 lakhs minus 10 lakhs, so the purchased goodwill, that's the which XYZ Limited is buying from the ABC company is, that's how much? That is 20 lakhs. Okay, children. So this is the concept of the purchased goodwill. And as actually there is an outflow of the cash in order to buy this type of the goodwill. So accounting standards 26 recommends that the goodwill of this kind, basically that is a purchased goodwill, needs to be recorded there in the books. Okay, so that's the reason, the goodwill which is recorded there in the books is which type of a goodwill? It is the purchased goodwill. And the entire valuation of the goodwill, am I right? All the rules and regulations relating to the goodwill and everything is just mentioned and being followed according to which particular accounting standard? It is according to the accounting standards 26. Now the next year we are going to discuss about the second category of the goodwill. That's what we call it as a self-generated goodwill. This is the meaning of the purchase. That's what we have already discussed about it. Now we are going to discuss about the self-generated goodwill. So children, the self-generated goodwill, basically it means it's the goodwill which is generated by the firm based upon its hard work or based upon its efforts which it has taken. So the goodwill which it has created is what we call it as a self-generated goodwill. So it's just earned by the efforts of the management and by their hard work. That's what we call it as a self-generated goodwill. So in case of a self-generated goodwill, there is no outflow of a cash. It's been created by the company on its own just because of its, work efficiency. So hence actually this self-generated goodwill is not recorded there in the books. So its valuation can be done, it depends upon the valuer, but actually practically if you will say as per the accounting standards 26, this self-generated goodwill is not shown or not recorded in the books of accounts. Now the next here we are going to discuss about the methods to calculate the goodwill. Am I right? What are the various methods which we can use it for the purpose of the calculation of the goodwill? This is what the next thing we are going to discuss here. So generally basically there are three types of the methods. One is average profit method, second is super profit method, and third is capitalization method according to the syllabus of class 12. But basically if you will see, there are four types of the method. One is average profit method, second is super profit method, third is the capitalization method, and the fourth method is, that's what we can call it as an annuity method. But according to the class 12 syllabus, there are only three methods been included. One is average profit method, second is super profit method, and the third one is capitalization method. So under the average profit method, if you will talk about it can be there are the two ways through which we can calculate the goodwill under the average profit method. The first is a simple average profit method. Second is weighted average profit method. Same in the capitalization method also, we are having the two bifurcation, the capitalization of average profit method and the capitalization of the super profit method. Now, first we are going to discuss here, that is how to calculate the goodwill using the simple average profit method. This is what we are going to discuss here. Before that, let's understand the concept here, why this average profit method is being used. So children, let us take up an example of the two companies, ABC company, which is already a well-flourished company. Am I right? I mean, having its running business. And the next is an XYZ Limited company. This XYZ Limited company wants to by the ABC Limited company, which is already earning the handsome profits in its past. So let us take its past record. So in 2010 also ABC company has a profit. 2011 also it had a profit, and even in 2012 also it had a profit. And this business was purchased by XYZ Limited on 1st April 2012, and it is expected that this business will be yielding the same kind of a return even to the XYZ Limited company also in the future. Okay, so generally whenever we are predicting the future profits, so according to the rule, that is, we can predict about the future profits only up to the duration of 5 years, not more than 5 years, because after 5 years span of duration of the time, the life of the business is uncertain, though even it's uncertain in the in between the 5 years too. But generally, just for the evaluation purpose, if we can ascertain or we can take up the future 5 years profits just for the purpose of evaluation or just for the purpose of the calculation of the goodwill in this way. So here, let us take it here, like in the future to profits also in 2013, 2014 and in 2015 also, XYZ Limited company is expected to earn the same kind of the return as if it's buying this ABC Limited company, as it's just earning in the same way in its past. So this XYZ Limited company needs to pay an extra amount to the ABC Limited company, because it's already using its name and fame, it's already using its market reputation, its market standing, and the based on that, XYZ Limited company will be earning its future. For this purpose, the XYZ Limited company need not to work hard for this very purpose. It's acquiring it directly from the ABC company. So this type of a compensation which has to be paid by the ABC, which has to be paid by the XYZ Limited company to the ABC company is referred to as what? That's called as the goodwill. This is a reason, these type of the situations or the circumstances emerges in the business. That's the reason, though goodwill being an intangible asset, still there is a need for its valuation. Okay, so when we are studying about a concept of the goodwill in class 11th, it sounds very impractical when it says actually that is the goodwill can also be valued, though we say it does not have the physical existence, so how it can be valued. But due to these circumstances which is arising in case of any business organization, it becomes must for any organization, if it's buying any business, to value the goodwill or to evaluate the goodwill or to measure the goodwill in its monetary terms. Okay, children, so that's the reason, the need for the average profit method comes for the purpose of the calculation of the goodwill. Now, the next thing here we are going to discuss about here, that is actually what is the need, or that is actually in which all the circumstances are there where the firm needs to value the goodwill. So it very well, already we discussed about it. Whenever a new partner enters into the firm, am I right, whenever a partner leaves the firm, in case of a partnership business, we use the concept of the goodwill just to pay the compensation to the partners, or when a new business is being bought or sold, when a new business is bought or when a business is being sold. In such a situation also, this concept of the goodwill evolves or arises over there. So I hope so that now it will be very clear to you why the goodwill being an intangible asset, still it is monetarily evaluated, still it is monetarily measured. I hope so this concept will be clear to you. Now, the next thing here we are going to discuss about, that is how to calculate the goodwill using the average profit methods. So there is a series of the steps which you are supposed to follow. The first is we need to calculate the average profits. So children, this average term is not a new term for you. The same average term we have you would have studied in class 11, as an arithmetic mean. Got it here? The same logic we are supposed to use it here to calculate the average profit. So the average profits or the future maintainable profits is equals to what? That is the total profits divided by the number of years. Suppose if we are taking the 3 years profit, so the number of the years will be how much? That is 3. Now this total profits, basically it means what? It basically means the normal profits. Remember children, there are many types of the profits, but the profit which we will be using for the purpose of the valuation of the goodwill should be the normal profit. A normal profit, basically it means what? It's actually the pure profit of the business which is generated by the revenue producing activities of the business. It does not include any kind of the abnormal losses. It should not include any kind of the abnormal gains or the profits. So this type of the normal profit should only be taken for the purpose of the calculation of the goodwill. Got it here? Or here for the purpose of the calculation of the average profits too. So in this average profits, we are valuing the goodwill based upon the future. This is the reason it's been called as what? It's been called as the future maintainable profits. That's the reason it's been called as what? It's called as the future maintainable profits as well. So here in the step 1, we have seen like how to calculate what? That is actually the average profits. That is the total normal profits divided by the number of years. Now the next thing here in the step 2, how to calculate the goodwill? Simple. The average profit which we have calculated, multiplied with that of the number of the purchase years, we can get the value of what? We can get the value of the goodwill. Now question arises, what is this number of purchase years? This number of the purchase years means actually the expected time duration in which the firm is expected to earn the same profits, similar to that of its future profits, is what we call it as a number of purchase years. Means, as I told you, like actually ABC company, is being purchased by whom? That is by the XYZ Limited Company. So XYZ Limited Company is assuming in the previous 3 years, ABC Limited Company is already having good profits. So it is expected that in the meantime, even if the XYZ Limited Company is just taking over or buying this business, still expects the XYZ Limited Company will be having the same kind of the profits even in the future years. So this is what we call it as a number of purchase years. Means in the future or just for a future duration, how much actually the firm is expected to give the profit based upon its past record is what we call it as a number of purchase years. So children, this number of purchase years will be given to you in the question. You need not to worry about it. You are not supposed to calculate it. Okay, but you will always find this number of the purchase years won't exceed more than 5. Got it here? Isn't it? This number of purchase years won't exceed more than 5. Preferably you will see it here either for 2 years, 3 years or something, but it will be given to you directly there in the question. Now the next thing here it comes is we are going to discuss about the calculation of the normal profit. Though we have seen like actually the average profit method uses the normal profit. Now sometimes actually even some adjustments, if it's given in the question, how to deal with this adjustments and how to calculate the normal profits based on that, this is what we are going to discuss here. Now let us assume the past profits of the firm has been given to us. For example, 2010's profit is given, 2011 and 2012's profit has been given to us. Now apart from this, abnormal losses is also being given here. Now so what will be the treatment for this abnormal losses? This is what we are supposed to deal it here. Now see children, let's understand what is abnormal losses basically mean. Abnormal losses basically means they are the losses generally which is occurring in a business or which is happening to a business due to some unnatural events. Am I right? Like for example, loss by fire, your loss happening due to the natural calamities. So these are some uncertain things, am I right, which happens generally in case of any business organization anytime. About this nobody can predict about. Okay, so these type of losses which may accrue to the business definitely would have reduced its profit. Got it here? Because any type of a losses with this natural or unnatural whatever, but you know that it has to be compensated with that of the profit. So these abnormal losses earlier, this would have reduced the profit. So when we are just calculating the normal profit, or when we want originally the profit of the business, in this situation we need to add the abnormal losses. Okay children, so in this situation what we are supposed to do, we need to add up the abnormal losses. Similarly, as if the business is having the abnormal losses, in the same way the business can have what? It can have the abnormal profits as well, or abnormal gains as well. So if any firm is having the abnormal gains or the profit, then it has to be deducted. The basic reason here it comes, abnormal gains means what? For example, a gain from a lottery, you know, it's an unexpected, unnatural, a coincidence you can say, through which the business is having you can say that the profit. So these type of the unnatural events happening, and just because of this, if the business is having a gain or a profit, so therefore this would have increased the profit earlier. So when we wanted to just to know about the exclusive profit of the business, abnormal profits earlier, it would have increased. Okay, so coming back to the normal profit means we need to deduct it. So this is a reason, if abnormal profits or the gains would be there, that will be deducted. Okay children, so if these two adjustments are being given, they are the very generalized adjustments here. So after adding and deducting, then finally we will be getting the pure or the original normal profit. Okay, we can say that the pure or the original business profit is now available to us after making these changes, or after adding the abnormal losses, or after deducting the abnormal profits. So hence now the question arises is these total normal profits. Now how to calculate the total normal profits? So 2010 past profit plus 2010 abnormal losses plus minus, you know, 2010 abnormal profits, then the value which we will be getting will be taken as here. Okay, similarly for 2011 also, you know, if the abnormal losses and the profits are given, then it has to be adjusted with the past profit and would be taken same as the 2012. So the total value of the 2010, this, am I right? And the total value of the 2011, this, and the total value of the 2012, this, which we are going to call it as a total normal profits. So we will be adding this 2010 plus 2011 plus 2012 divided by how many years? As we can see the 3 years here, so we will be taking the number of years as well, 3. So by calculating this, we will be getting what? We will be getting the adjusted average profits, or the future maintainable profits. Okay children, so we cannot stop here because our basic motive is to calculate the goodwill. So the next question arises is how to calculate the goodwill. So if we have calculated the adjusted average profits, we have seen as in the previous slide in the formula. So the goodwill therefore is equals to adjusted average profits which we have calculated, or the average profit which we have calculated, into number of purchase years. So once this adjusted average profits is multiplied with that of the number of the purchase year, so the answer is what? That's what we can call it as a goodwill. That means what? We can get the goodwill of the firm. Now, based upon this formula what we have discussed, now we are going to deal about actually a question. So this question says here, Mr. Bhushan purchased Turner's business with effect from 1st April 2020. That the firm's goodwill will be valued at 2 years purchase of the average normal profits of the last 3 years. Bhushan's profits were 2018 1 lakh. Okay, including abnormal gain of how much? 10,000. 2019 1 lakh 10,000. After charging an abnormal loss of how much? 20,000. 2020 it's how much? 85,000. You can see including non-business income. See, the non-business income means again it's abnormal profit or abnormal gain. Okay, so based on this we need to calculate the firm's goodwill. So let's make a column over here like this. So where we have written the years and the profits. So first I have written the profit over here for 2018. From the question I have written here 1 lakh, 2019 1 lakh 10,000, and for 2020 how much here? That is 85,000. And you know the children, if the abnormal losses are there, it has to be added. Got it here? Because it would have decreased the profit earlier. So we need to come up to the real profit now. So we will be adding it back. Okay, so in 2018 there is no abnormal loss. That's the reason I've written here as dash or a hyphen. Okay, in 2019 you can say there in the question, if you will see, we are having an abnormal loss of 20,000, so it has to be added. That's the reason I've written 20,000 here. And 2020 again there is no abnormal loss, so I have put here as a what? That is actually a dash. Now next is abnormal gain, if we will talk about. So abnormal gain, you can see it here. In 2018 also we are having abnormal gain, and in 2020 also. So in 2020 abnormal gain 10,000. Just why it's written in bracket? Because abnormal gains, you know, that has to be deducted, as we have seen it here. And abnormal gains means it would have increased the profit earlier. So in order to come back to the real or the original profit, am I right, we need to deduct this abnormal gains right now. So 10,000 being deducted here, and you know 2019 we don't have any abnormal gains, that's the reason dash. And in 2020 again it's been deducted here. So let's calculate the normal profits now. So for 2018 the normal profits is going to be as how much? It's going to be 90,000, and for 2019 it's going to be as how much? 1,30,000. How come? 1,10,000 plus 20,000. And 2020, you know, 85,000 minus 5,000, it's going to be as how much? That is actually 80,000. Now we need to calculate the total normal profits, okay, in order to calculate the average profit. So the total normal profits will be calculated like this. Okay, so 90,000 plus 1,30,000 plus 80,000. Okay, 90,000 plus 1,30,000 is 2,20,000. 2,20,000 plus 80,000 is 3 lakhs. So hence total normal profits divided by number of years is how much? What? Average profit. So 3 lakh divided by 3. 1 lakh we got here is what? That is our average profit. Okay, children. Now the next we are supposed to calculate what? That is the goodwill. Am I right? We calculated the average profits. Now we are supposed to calculate this goodwill. So the goodwill here is equals to average profits into number of purchase years. You know, as we have discussed the formula earlier. So hence the goodwill is equals to how much? 1 lakh into 2. Am I right? The average profits is 1 lakh. 1 lakh into 2 is equals to 2 lakhs. So we got the value of the goodwill of the firm. That's how much? That is here 2 lakhs. Now the next year, based on these questions and based on these fundamentals, you are supposed to solve these assignment questions just actually to make your concepts thorough and very clear regarding this. So question number 1, you can see it here. It's very simple. Only the profits are being given, number of the purchase has been given. You are supposed to use the formula to calculate the goodwill. Same question number 2 too. You can see it here. The profits have been given, but in 2017 you can see for the 1 year there is a loss. So children, loss doesn't mean that we will be excluding it here. Okay. So the loss basically, even if it's been given, so therefore the total profits we are having, out of that you deduct the loss. But while taking up the number of the years, make a note of this. The year of the loss need to be included as well. Okay, so for example, here in this particular question, suppose if we are just calculating the average profit, what we will be doing here, 8 lakhs plus 15 lakhs is going to be 23 lakhs, 23 lakhs plus 18 lakhs plus 13 lakhs minus 4 lakhs. Okay, divided by how many numbers we will be taking here? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we will be taking divided by the number of years as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so this is how we can calculate the average profits. And after calculating the average profits for the goodwill, what we are supposed to do, we have seen it here. Same situation, question number 3. Just the things are given to you in a statement form. Am I right? You can just read the statement carefully to solve it here. Now, the next is the question number 4. If we will talk about this question number 4 is actually, you know, if we will talk about, it is just based upon the same question what we have discussed earlier. Okay, so this is actually the 4 assignment questions being given to you. Watch the video carefully, and based on this video, please solve these assignment questions here and do send a pic of it to me. So therefore, I can just counter check whether you are able to do it properly or not. Okay, so that's all in this very particular video relating to the further detailed adjustments in case of the average profit. You know, we will be discussing it in the next video, that is the video number 2. So just go through this video very carefully and please do solve this assignment questions and do send it to me.